This is the 2017 Dodge Durango GT. It's about middle of the road. It's not the top of the end model, but it's not the bottom. It starts at around 40,000, and the one we have here is about 48,000. The first thing you notice though about the Durango GT is that is a handsome car, both inside and out. It looks fantastic. The interior is actually a really nice place to be, and I say actually because it's a huge departure from the Dodges I know. It does not feel like a Dodge at all. It feels much more upscale. The plastic, the steering wheel, the leathers, they all have a quality feel to them, which is a huge departure from Dodges that I used to know that had a chintzy, plastic, very cheap feel to it. This feels like it belongs in a much more expensive vehicle, and it continues into the back. Alrighty, the back seat, much like the front, this is a very nice place to be. It actually has plenty of legroom if you're going to stick a couple of adults back here. And unlike other cars in this class, you actually get captain's chairs back here, not a bench seat, which I personally really like. If you're going to put adults back here, you got plenty of room, plenty of comfort. They got the armrest in the middle, and let's face it, if you're going to buy this type of car, you're more than likely going to end up with children, or you already have children. And who wants to talk to those little bastards for more than 5-10 minutes at a clip? And that's where these screens come in. You got a Blu-ray player up front, HDMI and component connections here, so whatever they want, movies, games, whatever it takes to prevent them from talking to you for extended trips, it's got it back here. And let's face it, as adults, we really don't want to listen to the Wiggles for God knows how long, and that's where these headphones come into play. You don't have to listen to their crap. You can listen to whatever you want. You can actually talk to the little lady should you be so inclined. Now we're going to take a look at the third row where space becomes, well, let's face it, a little tighter. This is a dignified process getting back here if you're an adult. Now, realistically speaking, the back seat here, this is really for kids. I mean, there is some decent room if you're under 4.5 foot tall. All told, the interior on the Dodge Durango is fantastic. It's definitely not letting the car down. It's definitely not as bad as some Dodges in the past. And if you have the extra coin, I definitely recommend getting the upgraded interior. You'll thank me later. Now, let's get on to the stuff you actually care about and performance. And for that, I need to disembark, which is hardly a graceful procedure, and get back to the driver's seat. The Durango's ride is actually pretty comfortable. It doesn't so much ride over bumps as it flattens them, considering the size of this thing. But you want comfort in a vehicle of this type, and combined with the excellent seats, this thing is very comfortable to sit in and drive. The engine in this is Chrysler's Pentastar 3.6 liter V6. In the Durango, it makes 295 horsepower and 260 foot-pounds of torque. If you want the V8, you got to go up to the Citadel or the RT. Frankly, that would be my choice in engine, because even though at cruising speeds it's fine, at slow speeds it's a little bit sluggish, and you got to use the throttle a little bit more than I would personally like. That's why I think the bigger engine with its more low-down grunt is a little bit better of a driver's engine. Now, if you're a soccer mom, or if your sole purpose for this vehicle is to move the kids around in their various crap, well, the V6 is fine. The engine does sound pretty good. It's got a nice throaty sound to it. It almost makes you forget it's got a V6. The transmission, it kind of hangs in gear a little bit more than you would expect. Now, from an enthusiast perspective, you'll like that. You always have the RPM and the gear you want ready to go, unlike some other slush boxes where you kind of put your foot down, wait, and then go. The problem is that this is not exactly the most efficient way forward. I actually think that you can get better gas mileage using the paddles and your brain than you're just relying on your right foot and the computer to sort things out. Hanson and I actually tested this, and I'll put a link to that below. Everything about the Durango GT feels a little bit more grown up. Its predecessor, the second-gen Durango, was, in my opinion, crap. Complete and total crap. It looked horrible. It drove terrible. Everything about it felt cheap. That's not the case in here. Overall, I really like the Dodge Durango GT. It drives really well. Even though the V6 is a little sluggish, it's more than capable. The interior is really upscale feeling. And in this particular color scheme, the gray on black, it looks phenomenal. Especially when you're driving around at night. There's something about this. There's something about it. There's this sinister feeling. It makes you feel tough, makes you feel manly, especially when you consider that during the day, you're lugging the kids around and your soccer dad. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, you can go to shiftinglanes.com for all your automotive news and opinions. Find us out on social media. I've been Chad, and I'll catch you next time.